I've discovered a new sewing needle and I am super excited to share it with you guys. And this isn't any ordinary needle. It has 2 holes on the bottom of it, 2 eyes for 2 threads. Not sure if you saw my video where I put 2 threads through 1 eye on the needle. Well, when I was doing some research about that, I found these needles and they are so cool. And you might be wondering, well, why do I need these needles? What's so cool about them? Well, you can sew with 2 threads at one time, making your stitch stronger. Or if you want a top stitch thread that you can't find in a specific color, you can just sew with 2 threads at one time and it gives you a really thick looking stitch. Or if you're doing some decorative stitches, you can mix and blend some colors to make your decorative stitches more interesting. So let's head over to the sewing machine. I'm going to show you how this works and we'll do a top stitch and then we'll do a decorative stitch so you can really check out the potential of this double-eyed needle. To set up the machine, I have my 2 spools of thread on top. Your spool holder might be on the side, or you can even buy an additional stand if you don't have a spot on your machine. The first stitch I'm testing out is a top stitch, so I'm going to be using the same color. My first thread, we're just going to thread like normal, down, back up, around your uptake lever, and now we're going to go down to the needle. So down here we have the 2 eyes in the needle. I'm going to put my first thread through the top eye here. And then I'm just going to take my thread and put it under the foot to the back. So I always want to put the thread through the top eye because if you put it in the bottom one, when you're trying to put in that next thread, and if you're trying to put it above it, it's going to be really hard and confusing. So just start at the top eye. So for the second thread, we're mostly following the same path, but if you have an option to go to the other side of your tension disc, I want you to do that. And then we're going to come down, back up, around the uptake lever, and now down by the needle. Now we're going to take the thread and we're going to go through the eye on the bottom of the needle. And we're going to take it and just put it under your foot to the back. So now we have the double eye needle threaded with 2 threads. So I have my machine set up to a straight stitch with a stitch length of 2.5, a thread tension of 4.6, and I also have it set up to a woven medium here. So really just some regular settings, nothing special about the settings here. Real quick, before we start sewing, if you want to learn more about sewing, make sure you check out my online and in-person classes. There's links down below. I even have an online sewing club. Pretty cool, huh? Now let's get back to sewing. So setting up the thread and the needle is that easy. So right now I'm just sewing that straight stitch, which is going to be essentially a top stitch. So a couple of stitches forward. Let's lock it in place with our back stitch. And then let's continue forward. I'll do a little turn, needle down, foot up. Let's turn, let's sew back down. We're going to back stitch at the end. And you can still use your cut function if you have that on your machine. Otherwise, just go ahead and pull out your fabric and cut your threads. So you can see that these stitches look nice and thick and they would be great for top stitching. So now I'm going to sew a line of stitching just with 1 thread, so that way you can see the difference. And I just left in the double-eyed needle because I don't have to switch it. All I had to do is take out 1 thread. So you can really see that that single thread is so much smaller than this doubled up thread. So that double thread is just going to give you such a nice strong seam or a really great top stitch accent. Now we're going to do something really fun. We're going to use 2 different colored threads in the double eye needle with some decorative stitches. So I have a fun green and pink thread set up and threaded through my machine the same way I did the purples. And for my decorative stitch, I've selected this flower design. Now let's try out this decorative stitch. Okay, so something's going weird. Let's take a look at this. So we're having a problem here where the green thread isn't sticking on the other side, just the pink is. You can see I've got these like jump stitches basically in between each one. So let me figure out what's going on here because this is not right. Okay, so I did a little research, went to the Schmetz website, and lo and behold, at the very bottom of this listing, it does say it does not like wide decorative stitches or wide zigzag stitches. It only likes narrow ones. And if this happens, it's just part of how the needle is, I guess. So we are going to go try a narrower decorative stitch and see how it takes it. So I've selected a different decorative stitch here. This one's much narrower, so we're gonna try this one out now. So I'm just gonna add this stitch right next to the other one. Look at how nice that narrow decorative stitch looks with that double thread. Really great. I love how fun this looks with the two different colored threads in here. I can definitely see myself using this to enhance a project. But that other decorative stitch is so cute, and I really want to make it work with two threads. So what I'm going to try doing is taking two threads and putting them through the one eye on the double-eyed needle. And let's see how that works out. Crossing my fingers. So I have both threads through the bottom eye on the needle, so there's nothing in the top eye. And we're gonna see if this works better. And it seems like it is. Now let's take a look at it. Wow, look at this. It worked. We now have the double thread around and through our entire decorative stitch. This is so exciting. Now I can use it on a project. So after trying out this needle today, I do think this is a great needle if you're doing that top stitch look. So the two threads and the two separate eyes, it keeps them untangled and it gives you that nice thick looking top stitch. Great for it. I think it's better than sewing with two threads through one eye because it doesn't get tangled up as much. And for decorative stitching, the narrow stitches worked great with the double eye needle, but if you want to do those really wide decorative stitches, it seems like you can't use the double eyed needle. You need to use two threads through one eye of the needle. So this is still a useful needle to have, just not for wide decorative stitches. I'd love to know if you've used this needle before, what your experiences are, how did it work for you on your sewing machine, and if you are talking about that down below, make sure you tell us what model of sewing machine you're using it on as well. And are you going to buy one of these and try it out on your machine? If you are, leave it down below in the comments and let us know. Thank you so much for watching Sewing Anastasia today. If you have any questions, leave it down below in the comments and I'll get back with you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. So let me know what other videos you want to see down below in the comments. And if you want to learn even more about sewing, make sure you check out my online and in-person sewing classes. There's links down below. If you want to know what's going on in the studio today, well, make sure you check out my Instagram stories. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye!